tunnels over rivers and the lake, from Anchor Pass along the streams and the brooks, to hanging cliffs that wind through windy chenooks. The city's back door, a town's only trail. Why do we so often turn our back to the rails, our back to the rails? Clean up the yard, wave a hand to the rail. The Canadian passes with their long silver tail. The rail keeps the flame burning bright, and freighters carry coast to coast just in time. You hear the echoes of the workers on the move, and all the passengers who peer out from above still come from far and wide Canadian pride, and all the beauty that's the face of our countryside, marking poverty with iron bars and ties. Remove majestic arrest, keep this country alive, keep this country alive. Clean up the yard, wave a hand to the rail. The Canadian passes with their long silver tail, filled to the brim with folks from all over the world. And Sonny's out screaming at us all aboard. We had the junk and the trash behind the cold iron tracks. We turn our faces away from what we don't want to say. And in the history of all kings, queens, and princes afar, traversing provinces wide, they see us all from the other side. So come on back to the track, clean up the yard, wave a hand to the rail. Wave your hand to the rail. The Canadian passes with their long silver tail, long silver tail, filled to the brim with folks from all over the world. And Sonny's out screaming at us all aboard, all aboard, all aboard, all
Something is about to give. I can feel it coming. I think I know what it is. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to live. And when I'm flat on my back, I hope to feel like I did. And hardness, it sets in. You need some protection. The thinner the skin. I want you to know that you don't need me anymore. 'Cause I want you to know you don't need anyone or anything at all. summer I can taste the salt of the sea. There's a kite blowing out of control on the breeze. I wonder what's gonna happen to you. You wonder what has happened to me.
Hello, everybody. Back here. Whomagoo is back. Actually, Tom is here with Jackie and Andy, my fabulous guests across the board. We are doing a live one. Fast and proud from Canada. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Yes.
We're not cheeseheads, though. Actually, you're a cheesehead, Andy.
Well, I like the Packers.
We're talking off here about the big game. You guys are awesome. We're talking about Patriots and Packers as we're jamming your tunes and you're talking about the big game. So
yeah, big game.
And you were walking your hockey up your way, right? The Leafs, Canada.
Yeah. The Leafs finally have put together somewhat of a half decent team, but I still don't think they're going to be in any contention to win the cup at all anytime soon.
Well, let's hope for you. Let's talk about something that you guys were involved in. She's Listening is a great foundation you did for ovarian cancer. As a matter of fact, I got to hear this song on the Whomagoo show.
You did. You absolutely did. So She's Listening is a project that's put on by musicians allied against ovarian cancer. And it's a group of indie musicians collected together by Mike Anderson in Ottawa and a couple of other indie artists who spearheaded it. And over the years, they put together musical reviews in various cities across Canada. And I was involved in two of them here, one in Kitchener and one in Toronto. And this was the first year that I was involved in it. And they asked us to provide some music for a CD. And I assumed everybody was writing a new song. So I wrote a new song and I realized, no, everybody's just supposed to give them any song. But I wrote a song called She's Listening. And so my producers did a video for it. And we decided to create our own little EP of unreleased acoustic music from some of our first albums. So we put together a little compilation of stuff and really enjoyed that. And actually, our music video for She's Listening was selected for two indie film, what do you call them? Film festivals. One of them was called the Best Film Festival, and one was the an Indie Film Festival. So super excited to be selected for that as a music video. There's some categories for music videos in some of the music festivals, as well as the film festivals across the world. So the whole project was awesome. And then I don't know if you knew, but I was diagnosed with breast cancer in July this year.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was kind of, it's all right. You know, I've been lucky. My kind of breast cancer is just limited to the breast. It hasn't moved anywhere in my body, so I'm really early on. So I'm going through chemo right now at the same time that, we're doing all this stuff. And we did our Run for the Cure this summer, which was cool, in September. And this is sort of a new area for me. We've been involved in different assorted cancer benefits for a long time before I was ever diagnosed myself. So now I assume this is going to be something we do more going forward. The new album that we wrote has a lot of interesting, kind of challenging lyrics in it, and I'm assuming they kind of came from what we're going right through right now. But so these kind of benefits have always been important to us, and I'm sure now will definitely be important to us going forward as well. I think it's important for musicians to grab onto some foundations or some causes that matter to them. It's important for us to use their platforms. We spend a lot of time collecting fans, and we have some reach in the social media side, and I think it's important to use it for good.
Well, that's one thing that's cool about my friends here in the Milwaukee area. One of the streaming shows I did actually last Sunday, I did like 3 of them, was a foundation for cancer. Direct, everything went proceeds. They went and delivered the money to a family like I think 3-4 days later. Oh
my gosh, that is amazing. And I know that it can be quite challenging in the States. Cancer treatments are very expensive. I mean, we've got socialized medicine. We pay huge taxes, but we do have socialized medicine. So everybody always thinks our medicine's free, but we pay for it on the front end, off our paychecks. But I mean, for me, I just basically go to the hospital once a week and I get my chemo and the tests and everything, and I have to pay for some of my drugs. But even that, I mean, if you're financially having trouble with some of the drugs that aren't covered by the government, there's help. There's help. So it's like, I still find that we're lucky. It feels like it's free, but I know it isn't. My income tax personally is about 45%, so it's pretty high. It ranges from 15 to 50% depending on what your income bracket is here in Canada. But I know that it can be quite challenging for people who don't have insurance. So we've got a lot of people who are landed immigrants or people who are visitors who don't have insurance, and they have to pay out of pocket, and it's thousands and thousands of dollars. So that kind of a benefit that you did, I'm sure, was very important for that family. Yeah, and like you were also saying, the music and the community part. I mean, something like that I'm trying to do. One of the cool things was, like, tonight we connected. That gets back to the early days when I started doing this last year. The interviews and the fun. It takes a lot of time, but that's the reward that I find to this show. Yeah, it's fun, and I love it. It's interesting because our PR guy, Mike Stover, got us involved with you back at the beginning of our Sonic Boom promotion in the spring. But, I've just dug your show so much that I listen to it and I follow you all over the socials. So, for sure. So, and there's a few, other people that I've kind of connected with. There's a guy on Facebook called Mike Wilkerson, who's Blast Zone Mike, and he runs a Facebook live show every night. And, we do stuff with him too. We just sort of connect and boom, we're on the show. And I think that's how you build a community. Yeah, and again, like what Mike does, it's just cool. People are coming on live and they're checking them out, and we're connecting. It's crazy world out here today. I'm going to tell you, I have not watched cable news on my side for, I think, almost 2 months. I just shut it down. It's just going back and forth, negative, black and white, this and that. And that's just, I don't have enough time on this earth for those things. Yeah, they're important, but they're affecting the way I'm thinking and looking and not creating stuff and spending time in a positive. Well, and I have to agree with you. I don't watch it at all. I never.